Hey, this is Josh Bell, your Chief Product Evangelist with Ultra Botanica, the makers of the curcumin you can feel. I'm sitting here with Adam Payne, the CEO of Ultra Botanica. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Josh.
And boy, do we have a treat for our audience today. Very special guest.
Sandwich between us here this morning.
Oh, I forgot to say, the Ultra Botanica Studios coming to you
Yep.
from Oklahoma City right here. We've got a dear friend, special guest today, Mckenzie Taylor. She's a naturopath. She's an owner of Taylor's Herbs here in Oklahoma City, and she has an amazing story. I've heard it before, spoiler alert, but I'll try to stay out of her business and let her tell it, regarding her health journey and how ultimately she's become a healer of many others as a naturopath. So, Kenzi, take us back in time. Share with us this amazing journey that brought you to the place where you're helping other people with their health journey.
I guess the first thing I would say is I was raised in a medical household. So my mom's a nurse, my stepdad's a pharmacist, and that's what path I was going to take. I had every plan to be a surgeon by 30.
Oh, wow.
Driven.
That's ambitious, yeah.
Yeah, I used to say nothing and no one was going to stop me. You want to get
Closer, yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. Nothing or no one was going to stop me. That was like my mantra. And then in high school, I was a cheerleader and actually was the one that they throw in the air.
Wow.
They call that a flyer. Oh,
Yes.
my gosh.
So I would fly through the air.
How high do you get?
Pretty high.
15 feet?
At least.
Wow.
Because then
At
they
least.
pop you up, so
Oh,
you go
wow.
a little higher. And then at summer camp, actually, I was dropped on accident, of course, from a full stunt where they're fully extended. And from there, it just kind of progressed as like shin splints, and it would be kind of hard to get around sometimes, but just thought it was normal because I was cheerleading, I did dance, I did all the things, I was in every extracurricular activity there was available. And anyway, one morning I woke up and I couldn't move.
So how long was that from the time you had the accident and you're still kind of living life normally with a little aches and pains, and then all of a sudden you can't move?
It was about 4 to 6 months there.
Wow.
I would have days where it'd be like really hard to get out of bed, but I just thought, oh, I overdid it.
Yeah.
No big deal. And then the morning that I woke up and my legs were swollen and I could not physically move them. I just started screaming, obviously. And my mom came running up the stairs. She had to carry me down the stairs. They took me to the hospital and they're like, oh, she just overdid it. Here's a steroid shot. And go home and let her rest for a few days. And then what progressed as just a quick steroid injection ended up being about 1.5 years in bed.
What?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
go
physiologically, what happened?
So first off, I went to multiple different doctors, had
Yep.
multiple different diagnoses, had a
Thank you.
psych eval because they thought I was doing it
Oh,
to myself.
Yeah, you're mentally defective, right?
Yeah.
You can't be this sick.
Yeah, straight A student, involved in everything. Like one of my nicknames was Miss Perfect. Like
wow.
I'm like, oh, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Very type A driven personality, and of course I passed that. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, you weren't looking for attention.
No. Good Lord.
and they didn't immediately over-medicate you with psych meds.
Oh no, thank
God.
But
Yeah.
I was on. My last doctor just said she has, some weird autoimmune disease, and literally sent me home to essentially die.
What?
Yeah. They did this huge roundtable study with all the heads of the departments on my case, and they were like, "We have
So
nothing
was
to do."
there some sort of inflammatory thing going on?
Oh, I was massively inflamed.
Really?
Like my legs would swell and get super red and hot, and then it would like work its way up my spine.
So this is happening on a regular basis?
Regular basis. The only thing that would give me any type of relief was scalding hot showers or baths. Especially at the end. Like I would have moments where it'd be a little better and I could get around with some assistance, like with a rolling chair or
Oh my
a
gosh.
walker.
And you were like, how old were you at this point?
I was 15 when it started.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Think about being a type A person, Adam, and going from being the individual that knows exactly where you're going in life to being in bed for what, a year?
About 1.5 years.
Year and a half. Oh my gosh.
So the last bit, my mom was literally having to carry me, dress me, and feed me because they had me so over-medicated. I had wasted away to about 80 pounds.
I'm in tears. So sorry, Kenzie. This is horrible.
Yeah, so I, like I said, the last doctors just said take her home and get her comfortable, essentially. And my prescription for pain meds was take as needed, so it wasn't even an amount. So I literally was taking handfuls.
Back in the day, right, when they
Back in
would
the
just
day.
say, "Hey, here's a bottle of 120
Well, I
of
mean,
these
they,
opiates."
they think end stage disease. They're thinking we just want to make you
Pain
comfortable.
management.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 So what?
So
I have to ask the question, and I know you.
Redemption is coming.
What changed?
So actually, my mom and everybody they were just talking about what to do, and my grandfather was like, "Hey, I grew up with this guy who's actually a chiropractor. Let's try it." Now again, we had tried maybe a chiropractor once or twice, I think, but not all are created equal,
That's
right?
Yep.
right.
Love the profession, obviously saved my life. So, but anyway, he's like, "Let's just try it." And so my mom was like, "Whatever, we'll do whatever we can."
Yeah, sure. We're
And,
desperate
and I
for
got to
any
ask
solution.
you, as conventional medical people that your parents were, what did they think about chiropractic?
I mean, okay, well, they adjust your back.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay, cool, you have a sore back.
So they at least didn't think the chiropractor was going to cripple you more.
Not cripple me more.
I guess in your instance, it
Yeah,
was like,
no,
what do we got to lose?
Exactly. And so my mom carried me in and laid me on this man's table and was like, with my stack of scans, and was like, please don't waste our time.
Wow.
Please don't waste our time. And so he threw one up and he goes, oh, it's right there. Pointed right to the problem, adjusted me, did some acupuncture. I walked out of his office that day.
What?
Gee.
His name is Dr. James Bugg, and he is definitely accredited, him and the Lord, why I'm sitting here today.
Yeah.
So what did he point to? What was it?
So what it ended up being is called piriformis syndrome.
Mm.
Okay, so it's the piriformis muscle that controls hip flexor movement.
Brutal if you get that pain, as dancers too. My
Yes.
daughters were all dancers.
Yeah.
So,
But unfortunately with mine, my sciatic nerve actually runs through the muscle. And so,
So is that like a genetic kind of thing? Okay.
yeah, and come to find out, my same grandfather, who has now gone on to be with the Lord, but he actually had it too, just a milder version.
Wow.
But the fall and then the chronic inflammatory response that I had kept that muscle so inflamed, it was literally pinching off my sciatic nerve root. So it not only had affected all the way down to my feet, my legs, obviously, but had worked its way up my spine.
And
Had
so
a
that
little bit of
created a
scoliosis.
feedback loop with your immune system.
Yes, and had a little bit of scoliosis on top of that. So it was just this whirlwind of issues. So anyway,
And so after that point, literally you had no more issues.
well, I say that I had to come off of meds.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so unfortunately, we had a really bad ice storm that year. Go figure, we live in Oklahoma, we get those often. And I ran out
Oh wow.
of
You
my
cold
main.
turkey.
So I literally went cold turkey. And I had seizures for about 6 months after that, just from the nerve response. Because, I mean, mind you, I've been on some type of pain med for over a year and a half at this point. I would see Dr. Bugg a couple times a week for a while. And, at first I would feel better for a little bit. And then, of course, just the chronic inflammatory response would just keep kicking in. So after that point of coming off all the meds, actually being able to walk and get back into life, I just decided I was going to swear off all meds at that point. I wouldn't even take an ibuprofen.
We are wow, and that changed your direction from wanting to be a surgeon, I guess, to looking for something else. Was your current path kind of obvious to you, or did other things happen?
No, I still thought, hey, I'm going to still be medical. And I went that route. I had an opportunity for a scholarship.
Okay.
And I literally almost had like PTSD. I couldn't do it.
Really?
Because the profession that I had highly esteemed, unfortunately, had
Failed you.
me
Failed you.
as a child.
right.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
So either you were kind of setting this up. You were either going to go in there and change the profession, right?
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
there's
could
great
have,
doctors out there. Don't get
right?
me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
thankful.
You could have they failed me, and I'm going to fix how they failed me, or you were going to, or God opened up another path for you.
He did. He did. He.
What's
not-
that, Josh? Oh, that must be.
It's not supposed to be going off because my phone is silent. So
It's
That might
just
be my
fine.
phone. We're good.
But just to wrap it up, I was sitting on the end of Dr. Bug's bed, actually his adjusting table, and I was bawling because I didn't know what to do with my life. Here I have my life back.
Right.
I gave up my scholarship, which my whole family thought I was nuts. I thought, okay, well, I'll be a nurse because then, better bedside manner. I
Yeah,
can be
take
more of an
care of patients.
advocate,
Yeah.
That's what my mom does. I just thought, okay, I won't be prescribing meds all day. And then I had a great GPA, great interview, and I didn't get into nursing school. Adjusting table, just bawling, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, And he just looked at me and he was like, sweetheart, you won't even take an ibuprofen if I beg you to. You're already doing nutrition. You're already taking supplements and researching. Why don't you be a naturopath? And I was like, a what?
Sorry, that's loud.
It was so good. I was like, well, okay, I'll look into it, and so I started looking into it, and here I am.
Wow. So I guess we're going to come back after our break here, and talk about your journey into naturopathy. A lot of our listeners might know what naturopathy is. It's do you know the origins of naturopathy? Do they teach that when you study?
Oh, really? It's Hippocrates or the Hippocratic. I mean,
It goes back to before allopathic medicine, doesn't it?
that's the original.
It's the original,
Yeah,
right?
It's
So
God given.
So just thinking that, oh, well, naturopathy, that's something new. It's actually, well, it's what was before we had all of this molecular medicine that we're dealing with right now. So we'll be right back. Thanks for joining us. This is Ultra Life Today.